All right, hey, and welcome everybody to This Week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. I'm flying solo today, but on the board over there we've got Million Quinteros, the producer over here at the City FM. If you want to actually get your show up and running, folks, I really encourage you. Come on out, talk to Million, and I'm sure he would be happy to give you the hookups and get you going. But one of the things I want to talk to you a little bit about is about what happened last night. That's right, folks. We had the training last night. And the edge training actually started out with the cutting edge, and then we went into the edge training at nighttime. And let me tell you, I'm gonna probably spend a little bit of time on this today because it was so fascinating. I mean, we had people, the guys from shoutlegacy.com were there, and they were helping us out talking about video. We had Jace Souter, who was helping us out and facilitating the day. And then at nighttime, we had Sean Cannell, who is the AV guy over at the Church of Las Vegas. And what a fantastic time we had. I found out something pretty remarkable. And the thing I found out was that I'm doing all my videos wrong. Now, you would think after doing this for a couple of years, now I started doing videos in 2008. And I've had people tell me, oh, boy, Sherman, you're doing a great job, and we love you, and all this other stuff. But found out from these guys who, and let me tell you, I generally listen to people who had hits on their YouTube account or on their website of about 2 million. That's my base. If it's not at least 2 million, I won't listen to you. But if you had at least 2 million people hit your stuff, or if you're number one in the rankings on YouTube or Google or anything like that, I will tend to listen to you. Well, the guys who came in yesterday, they are both. They are number one all over the place. And Sean Cannell, as a matter of fact, for those of you who are watching my phone here, I'm trying to make sure I turn my phone off here. For those of you who are watching on the video cam, I'm the guy smartly dressed because I was speaking today. But so let me get back to what I was talking about. Sean Cannell is the AV guy over at the Church of South Las Vegas, or Las Vegas. And he has basically just revolutionized YouTube and getting your face on it. So when he came and he spoke, I listened. And one of the things he said, and I videotaped the whole thing, and maybe we'll make it available. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. As a matter of fact, if you go to www.diversitynetworkinggroup.com, that's diversitynetworkinggroup.com, that's just with one G, and you email me from there, or if you just get to me and let me know that you want the video of Sean Cannell, it will literally revolutionize the way you do your videos. Because he looked into the camera and he said to me, well, he wasn't saying it to me, he was saying it to all the people in Cyberwall. He was saying, I hate people who do this, 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 and this with their videos. And he was talking to me because I do all of the things that he said that he didn't do. And, at some point you think, well, maybe it's a personal preference. He just doesn't like this or doesn't like that. But no, it was, he basically said, look, people turn off your video if you do certain things. And if you'd like to hear what those things are, you're going to have to email me, folks. And that's what we're going to do. You're going to have to email me. As a matter of fact, email me at diversitynetworkinggroup@gmail.com. That's diversitynetworkinggroup@gmail.com. And you'll have to email me on that, and I'll get you all the information. We'll send you a video. So, the edge training last night started at 9 o'clock in the morning. Lasted till 9 o'clock at night. We broke for lunch, we broke for dinner, had a fabulous dinner. I mean, gosh, it was such a good, we ate over at, I don't know, Million, if you've ever eaten here, at Grape Street Cafe. Had some great Italian food. I had the chicken gorgonzola, which was real good, full of pasta, full of cheese and stuff like that. The lovely Mrs. Ray had like some scallops and stuff like that, and had some seafare. Everybody else just ate like it was nobody's business. I'll tell you, they really did it up right, and those people who were a part of the cutting edge, we paid for their dinner. And it was, they had a great time. It's a mastermind time with the cutting edge. And we literally spent from 9 to 5 with the cutting edge, just speaking into their lives and really just filling them up with great things, motivating them to move to the next level. And at the end of the day, when we started the cutting edge, the room was full. It was fantastic. Now we've only been doing these edge trainings. We started it in, gosh, I think September of last year is when we started it. But the cutting edge, we just started that this year, and we just started that in January, February. And the cutting edge and the edge training were full last night. So we're really going to encourage you, if you want to be a part of something that is just fantastic, I want you to go to our website, which is www.diversitynetworkinggroup.com. Get on our mailing list, okay? Get on our mailing list and say, hey, Sherm, I want to know what you're doing with this edge training. And because the information that we got as just last night, it was literally, I am pulling all of my videos off of, so if you know where my videos are at on YouTube, you better get them quick because they're all coming off really quick. Because I'm redoing them all, and literally I have hundreds of them, not just 2 or 3. I have hundreds of videos on YouTube, and but they're going to be redone, and we're going to repackage them. And it's amazing. So anyways, that was what the edge training was all about. Well, let me tell you what happened this morning. We this morning at the Christian Business Connection, we had Norma Yorabazo, or can I roll my R's? Yorabazo, and she spoke to our Christian business owners. Norma, we want to thank you, but I will never invite you back for one reason, because you made me cry. And you know what? Nobody makes me cry, ever, unless it's my kids. But but seriously, Norma had a great story, and the story she really told that really just broke me up. And you know, I'm a big crybaby on occasions. Those of you who probably heard me before, maybe you've heard me whimpering on camera or on the microphone. But Norma really broke me up because of the story she told about her and her husband, and just how she just pushed through and thought that, gosh, that was the end of the rope for her, but she just pushed through, trying to get her husband, to go to church and, for their lives to get together. And the thing about it is, I know her and her husband very well, so it's just very heart-wrenching. So the Christian Business Connection went just awesome this morning, and we want to thank Norma. And tomorrow we don't have the Diversity Networking Group at all, so we're not going to have that, because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, or excuse me, not Thanksgiving, but what is it? Valentine's Day. Oh, I better not forget that, because I've got to get something for the lovely Mrs. Ray for tomorrow. Well, anyways, let's do this. We've got to get to some of these stories. Got to get to some of the things that are actually going on in Las Vegas. And so we'll do that in the second segment. But I want to kind of finish up this first segment and tell you a little bit more about what's going on next week over at the Diversity Networking Group. We've got Corey Cole, and what I'll do is next week I'll get her video up there of what Corey does. And Corey is a corporate. Gosh, what can I do to best describe her? She is the person who does all the books in the corporations and takes advantage of all the corporate staff and dollar corporations have. And that's valuable. I mean, that's seriously valuable. How many of you would love to have somebody just speak into your lives and say, hey, take advantage of your corporate status by doing this, that, or the other thing? And that's who's going to be at the Diversity Networking Group next week. And so we meet at the Panera Bread at 7175 West Lake Mead Boulevard. That's in Las Vegas, Nevada, 89128. So next week we're going to have Corey Cole, and she'll be out on Thursday morning at 7 o'clock, and she'll be talking to us about corporations, the secrets that multi-million-dollar corporations have. And it's entrusted with Corey Cole. But you won't be able to see it unless you come out to the group and be a part of that. Okay? So anyways, this is Sherman Ray. This is this week on DNG Radio, a production of the Diversity Networking Group, which meets here in Las Vegas. In our second segment, we're going to start talking about some things that are going on in Vegas. I'll tell you a lot of great things that are going on. And these are things that you're going to want to know. Okay? If you're coming to Vegas, or you're going to want to do business in Vegas, these are things you're going to want to know. So, anyways, this is Sherman Ray. We will be back in just a moment.
clear.
Hey, folks, we are back to This Week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. In our last segment, we spent a lot of time talking about, the edge training and everything else. And the reason why is because I am totally stoked on the edge training, and I was just so excited about seeing all the business owners that were out there. Well, let me tell you something real quick before we go into some of the stack of things that we've got here to talk about in Vegas. One of our guest speakers, his name is Sean Cannell, and we talked about him in the last segment. He's the AV guy over at the Church of Las Vegas. One of the things he talked about, and I'm really going to continue to push this until everybody gets on the bandwagon, I'll be your herald of social media, is that, and I asked him a question, I said, hey Sean, what's your take on this whole video content social media thing? What do you liken this to? And this was something he said, and it was very, I think it was eye-opening. He said, guess what, Sherman? He said the social media video content thing is like the land grab back in the 1800s or the 1700s. Or, excuse me, 1800s, I guess it would be. Here in the United States. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, what happened in those days is they told people who were going out west, they said, go ahead and just go. The first person who gets off of the wagon trail and stakes up their claim for a piece of land, that is your land. You have to develop it, but it's your land. We're going to give it to you because you were the first ones there. Well, that is the same thing that's happening with video content on the internet now. The first people who get there are going to be the ones, I should say the people who first get there and dominate that space that they get are going to be the ones who win. The people who wait until the last moment or wait till everybody gets involved in it are going to find that the land is in short supply, it's populated by everybody, and the likelihood of you becoming successful gets less and less and less. So, I encourage you, folks, get involved. Get involved with video content. Come out to the Edge training. Come out to the Diversity Networking Group. Find out how you can be a part of all these things, but don't wait anymore, okay? Don't wait anymore to take advantage of all the things that are out there right now, because literally, folks, I learned how to play guitar on the internet. I built my organization on the internet. This is not going away. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you don't take advantage of it now, okay, like you people who are listening to this, this internet radio broadcast, if you don't take advantage of it now, the likelihood of you becoming successful is going to be less and less and less. Okay. Anyways, so thank you, Sean. I thank you for that words of insight. Hey, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Vegas. Okay. Hey, so the average price of gasoline in Nevada has skyrocketed to $3.54. Halliburton! Oh, excuse me. It sounded like Chuck Schumer. Oh no, I don't hear Chuck Schumer saying anything right now. So what's up with that? The average price per gallon has skyrocketed up by 38 cents from a month ago. We're not talking about the entire summer, or it's skyrocketed since last year in June, 6 months. Literally in 30 days, the price of gas has gone up 38 cents. In fact, the average price of Nevada's regular unleaded gasoline saw the biggest increase in the nation this past week, jumping 18 cents. I mean, my gosh, it's crazy. And where are the people that are where are the Democrats and the Republicans who are out there? Where are they out stomping on the ground, asking our politicians or asking our president, hey, to have an effect on this? And it seems very interesting that it was just 6 years ago when we had gas prices that were going up also, that we had the Democrats were jumping out of windows saying, hey, it's Halliburton and George Bush is an oil guy, So that's why we have the gas prices that they are. And so it seems very peculiar to me that this would be this way. So if you're coming to Vegas, make sure that you fill up someplace else first, because the gas prices here are just crazy, and you're going to be paying through the nose. There's another story here, and it's about I don't know if you've heard of the Heart Attack Grill. Have you ever heard of that place? Did you hear about the spokesman for them? The spokesman for the Heart Attack Grill. Guess what happened? He died of a heart attack. Yeah, wow. He died of a heart attack. I know, it's crazy. The second unofficial spokesman for the Heart Attack Grill in downtown Las Vegas, so it's right on the corner of like Vegas Boulevard and Fremont. He died of an apparent heart attack. Yeah, they wheeled him off. His name is John Allman, and they wheeled him off in a stretcher. And yeah, the guy died, man. You know, he was on life support systems, and shortly after 1 p.m. on Monday, and said the restaurant owner John Basso, and he was 52. He died. So, wow, you know, that's crazy. You know, I don't know if that's appropriate or not. You know, I don't know if you want to smile and laugh about that. It's pretty sad that a guy whose business is the Heart Attack Grill. I don't know if you've seen the advertisement that's on the outside of this thing, but the outside of the advertisement on the Heart Attack Grill is, hey, you know, if it ain't good unless you get a heart attack, you know, and they've got like a nurse and everything on it with some big fat guy who's got, you know, protruding, you know, gut on him, and he's having a heart attack because of the cholesterol and the fat content of their burgers and stuff like that. Wow. So guess what? I'm eating nothing but, I'm going vegan. That's it. I'm going vegan. I'm not eating ever again. That's just crazy, man. Wow. So there's actually, I don't know if you've seen this article before, but we've been having an issue with a high-speed rail project that's been proposed to go from like Las Vegas out to gosh, where do they want to take this thing to? They want to take it to like Victorville, and then eventually it'll go to LA. Well, it's the nation's first privately funded high-speed rail line. Okay, so it's privately funded, which is great because we don't have to. And really, you know, it's probably the way it should be, is that it's privately funded. It's going to connect Las Vegas with Southern California, but it's in a holding pattern right now. And the reason why is because they're waiting for a federal government loan to come through. Usually it takes about 19 months, and these guys actually filed for this thing back in 2010, December 2010. So it's been a while that they're waiting for this, but it's not a small amount of money. Can you guess how much they're waiting for? Yeah, $5.5 billion. That's a $5.5 billion loan guarantee by a private company. My gosh, you know, guys. I mean, it's not like you guys are asking for a little bit of money, but you're asking for a lot of money. And I think what people are really upset about with this whole high-speed rail thing is not the fact that that it's going to be in production at all. It's where it's actually dropping off. I don't know how many of you have been to Victorville, but it's not like Beverly Hills, or it's not like Southern California. It's Victorville, for goodness sakes. Who wants to take a train from Las Vegas to Victorville for goodness sake? If you're going to do the thing, take it all the way to Anaheim. You know, take it all the way to Oakland. I mean, take it someplace, but don't drop me off in Victorville and then say, hey, we'll take a cab from here to to Southern Cal. So, it's called the Express West, and they filed for the loan in December of 2010. And this loan, it's under the Railroad Rehabilitation and Improvement Financing Loan. So they've been waiting on this money for a while, and good luck to the guys. I really think that if people are trying to put people to work, that kind of stuff, my hats are all off to you. I would say to the engineers, though, engineers, look at me. Now, if you're on the video cam, you can see me. So look at me in my eyes. Extend it to Anaheim. Extend it to Oakland. Extend it to someplace other than Victorville. Okay? I don't know if maybe you've got something going on in Victorville and you want Victorville to be bigger than it is. But that would be like us taking a train to Searchlight. Okay? Why? Okay? We really don't need something like that. So You know, that's what they're doing. So let me give once again. This is this week on DNG Radio. I'm your host Sherman Ray, and we have got the Diversity Networking Group meeting tomorrow over at, oh, excuse me, not tomorrow, but next week over at Panera Bread. I really want to extend an invitation to you. For more information on that, I'd like you to go to our website, which is www.diversitynetworkinggroup.com. That's diversitynetworkinggroup.com. That's just with one G, and you can find out all about that. And folks, you can also follow us on Twitter and go to DIVGRPNET, Diversity, oh, excuse me, DIVNETGRP, Diversity Net Group, okay? And follow us on Twitter. You can find out all about what we're doing. So anyways, hey, we'll be back in just a minute because we got some more great stuff for you on this week on DNG Radio. Stay tuned. Hey, we're back, folks. This is this week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. I'm the founder and the president of the Diversity Networking Group. Now, for those of you who don't know what we're doing, we've actually got a new group that we're starting up, and it's been real fun. It's called the Las Vegas Business Promotion Network, and LV Biz Pro is a high net worth networking group. I'll tell you, this has been fun. It's been fun, and it's been exasperating, all in the same thing. Most small business owners are like speed boats, which means that they can move right and left, up and down, in and out of the water pretty quick. Once your dollar amounts start going up to the corporate level, it is literally nearly impossible to get you to move, get you to turn. And when you do turn, it turns really quick. But it's getting them to turn. So it's been exasperating. So I'm still a speedboat, folks. I'm still a speedboat, and I still like to go in and out, and I like to go in the shallow water, and I like to go in the harbors. The Las Vegas Business Promotion Network is about high net worth business owners, and so it's been fun to be a part of that. Also, I want to encourage you to follow us on Twitter. Follow us, be part of our Twitter army over at the Diversity Networking Group. So it's actually DIVNETGRP. So DivNetGrip, Diversity Networking Group. And so you can follow us, find out what we're doing, get some updates on what we're doing. It's really fun. We're having a great time. Find out all about the EDGE training, which has just been fantastic. I cannot say enough about that. I was pinching myself last night because so many business owners were there, and they were all excited about it, and they all said we're coming back. So let's get back to to our final segment about some of these stories that are going on here in Las Vegas. I don't know if you've heard this President's State of the Union address last night. I didn't get to really catch it. I was at the EDGE training. But I know he touched on the immigration battle that's going on here nationwide. So do you know that, and this is interesting, I don't know how many of you out there in cyberspace are union members. I was a union member for about 15 years. I was a member of the local 357 IBEW. I was an electrician for about 15 years. And so I watched as the face of construction changed, and it went from pretty much an all white thing to now there's a lot of Hispanics who are part of the landscape of construction, and these are not cheap jobs, guys. So don't think that these are $5 an hour jobs. These are like $40 an hour jobs, and so a lot of guys were really complaining because they were. You have a lot of skilled labor that's coming into the market, and they're pushing them out of the market. Well, this is the paradox. So this is a story from from the Las Vegas Sun, and it says the national and local union workers rallied today in Vegas. And this was Monday. They rallied today in Las Vegas, promising to throw the weight of organized labor behind a push for U.S. immigration reform. Okay? And as the article goes on, it says that immigration reform is a national priority for the labor movement. Maria Elena Durazo, Secretary-Treasurer of LA County Labor Federation. And basically what they said is, hey, we embrace a path to citizenship for all of the folks who came here illegally, okay? And which is really very unusual to me, because I have heard nothing but things to the contrary of this in my time working as a union member. As a matter of fact, guys were, they were so anti-immigration, it was crazy. But it shows you the power of a political party. And this is not a political show, but it is this is a political thing that's going on here. So the AFL, the CIO, the Teamsters, the Service Employees International Union, the Labor's International Union, were all in attendance for this rally, and they're saying, hey, we are jumping behind the immigration reform battle that is going on in the White House. And the battle is this, folks. Many people on the right side of the aisle said, hey, we are looking for immigration reform, but it has to have some boundaries. It has to have some kind of safeguards. We need to close the borders and all this other stuff. And on the left, basically saying, nope, let's just let everybody in and we'll make it all work out in the end. So it's a crazy thing, because there's a lot of people who are here, and no matter what side of the aisle you're in, this is an issue that has to be dealt with, and it's got to be. You can't kick all these people out, so you've got to do something to help assimilate them, do something to make this all work. But the weird thing about it is that the unions are jumping behind the party that says, let everybody in. They're cutting their own throats, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because, like I said, as a former union member, I saw what was going on. I mean, luckily for us as an electrician, if you couldn't speak English, you couldn't be an electrician, okay? And a lot of people who were coming in were non-speaking immigrants, non-English speaking immigrants, and so they were flooding the market for everybody, from carpenters to painters to bricklayers. All of these guys were Hispanic, and there's nothing wrong with that because they did great work, but it's very unusual to me that the unions would be jumping behind, Oh, wait a minute. If the unions are jumping behind them, doesn't that mean they're going to get more union dues? That's where it is. Oh, I just thought this through. That's why the union could care less about the guys that are here already. They're just saying, hey, bring in as many people as you can, because guess what? The more of these folks that come in, the more money we're going to get. Boy, I'll tell you, you learn something new every day here. Now that might be their thinking, it may not be, but that's the way it is. Hey, one more. Let me give you another one. We're going to talk about some of the mortgages that are here in Las Vegas. Nevada still has among the worst mortgage delinquency rates in the nation. This is actually from, what's the story from? This is actually from Vegas Inc., I believe. It says Nevada's mortgage delinquency rate improved last year, but remains one of the worst in the country, a new report shows. Nevada had the second highest delinquency rate of 10.45% in the country in the 3 months ending December 31st, according to TransUnion. And that's down 12.8% in the same period, or down from 12.8% in the same period in 2011. And so it's interesting that we're still having a lot of delinquencies. But I was talking to a couple of realtors last week over at I went to the Jewish Chamber of Commerce meeting. Met some great folks over there. If you get a chance, Alon Adar Burla. He's actually the president of the Jewish Chamber of Commerce. If you're looking for a great group to visit, and you're not going to come to the diversity networking group, and of course you have to come to the diversity networking group first. But if you're not going to come to the diversity networking group, I encourage you to go to a place like the Jewish Chamber and meet some great guys over there. So I was meeting with one of the guys there, and he's a realtor, and he said, you know what? There is nothing in inventory. They have no homes in inventory. The banks have not released their next wave of delinquent foreclosures or their properties, and so he's having a hard time. He's having a hard time finding good properties for his buyers, because he's got buyers out there. He's got tons of buyers, but he doesn't have anybody to. He doesn't have any anything for them to buy. So we're still having some issues out there. There's another story, and I really wanted to get to this, and I don't think I actually downloaded it, but it's a story about Harry Reid. I don't know if you, Million, if you heard this story about Harry Reid. Did you know he's going to buy a brothel? No?
No.
Yeah. No. Well, put it this way. They asked him, they said, hey, Harry, there's a lady who's a family who bought a lot of property out in Searchlight. And one of them was like a casino, another one was a motel and hotel. One of them was a former brothel. And so they said, hey, Harry, would you be interested in buying this? And so Harry said, well, gosh, he said he's not going to kibosh the whole idea. He's not going to just kick it all the way down the street. He's not going to say, no, completely no. But he is saying that maybe he'll let somebody else take the lead on this. And if they don't do it, maybe, maybe not. So old Happy Harry, Harry Reid, he's not going to let Searchlight go down. He's not going to let it turn into a ghost town. He's going to buy up everything, and he's got quite a bit of money. I think what they're asking for is like $5 million for the sale of these particular properties. And so Harry Reid said he might step in. Wow. So it's very interesting. Anyways, hey, if any of you are coming to the Las Vegas Valley, I really encourage you to come on up to the Diversity Networking Group. We meet on Wednesdays and Thursdays over at Panera Bread. Wednesdays, you have the Christian Business Connection. And on Thursdays, you actually have the Diversity Networking Group. We both of them meet at Panera Bread, which is at 7175 West Lake Mead Boulevard. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada, 89128. And they meet at 7 o'clock in the morning. So either it's 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning or 7 o'clock on Thursday morning. Except for this week, because it's Valentine's Day, you can be a part of the Diversity Networking Group. We also invite you to come out to the EDGE training. EDGE training meets once a month. That's generally the second Tuesday of the month, 7 o'clock. That's at 2620 Regatta Drive, Suite 102. You can actually email us over at Diversity Networking Group at gmail.com. Find out more information about that. But that's the EDGE training. And the Cutting Edge training actually only meets every other month. So that's, and it meets all day long on Tuesday, the second Tuesday also. Finally, we have the Las Vegas Business Promotion Network, and we're just excited about that. What a great group of guys. High income earners, high net worth guys. The Las Vegas Business Promotion Network is just fantastic. We also encourage you, you can actually go to SRAY, that's S-R-A-Y, at lvbizpro.com, and you can email me about that if you're interested in being a part of that. And also, we encourage you to follow us on Twitter, DIVNETGRP. That's DivNetGrip for Diversity Networking Group. Follow us on Twitter. Find out what we're doing. Be a part of the conversation. Be a part of growth. And we want to help you become the business owner that you always should be. Anyways, we will see you next week. Be sure tomorrow, folks, it is Valentine's Day, so be sure that you get your honey something. Get her some chocolate. You get her some, because it always pays off, if you know what I mean. Just get her some chocolate and see what happens. We'll just leave it at that. See what happens. Anyways, it's been a blast, folks. We will see you next week on Wednesday, 10:30 for This Week on DNG Radio. It's been me, Sherman Ray, and we will talk to you next week. Okay? Bye-bye.
That's all right.